And we're basically segueing into our final topic, which is about the new Star Wars movie coming out May 25th, Solo, A Star Wars Story. The trailer came out a couple weeks ago, I guess now.
Yep.
You watched it, I guess?
Yep.
Yeah. What were your initial thoughts?
Looked good. Looked like a Star Wars movie. It was...
Looks like a Star Wars movie?
Yes. It's got that Star Wars trailer look.
That's true, yeah. I like the music in it. It was very different from most Star Wars.
My thing that I hope is that it's light-hearted, kind of, and campy.
Yeah? You want it to be
I wanted
campy?
to stay truer to original Han Solo. Like, original trilogy Solo.
Yeah.
He was roguish, popping jokes all the time.
Yeah, I think it...
I don't want it to be dark.
No.
There could be parts.
I don't think it needs to be dark.
You might need something in there. I don't know what
Kira's
they're going to do
gonna
for his
die.
back. What's that?
Kira clearly dies. But we know Chewie lives.
Yes.
So, happy day. It'll be lighthearted.
But I just don't want don't go Rogue One on it. Rogue One was great.
Rogue One was great.
I love that movie. It was dark too. And gritty, but I don't want that in a Solo movie.
I think knowing that the main characters survive will make it very different anyway.
That's true.
Whereas Rogue One, we're pretty sure everyone's gonna die here, and it had to happen, and it was a good conclusion to it all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was very happy with Rogue One. There were definitely parts of it, I guess, that were weaker. Like, it's hard to cram that many people's backstories into just a movie. But the more I read other stuff about the characters, and watch the movie over and over and understand more about who they are, those problems go away. So I can see a first time someone who's just seen it once being it started slow, but I think I like that stuff because it shows the universe. Like, even just seeing the planet that Galen Erso was farming on, to me, is just super cool because it's just this weirdo planet I've never seen. All the planets, and the fact that it had planet names when you flew in was really cool. Just a different thing for Star Wars.
Wonder how focused it will be as a movie. How much will it stick to the original plotline, or will it go off on tangents like Star Wars seems to like to do?
Oh, Solo? If it's going to be following him, or if it's going to be
all the time, or if there's going to be a different branch at some point.
That seems to be mostly the main saga.
Because of how many main characters
we've only had
there are?
one non-main saga so far, but I think it's just a shtick of Star Wars where it's just ever since basically New Hope was the last time.
Well, we know it's a Solo movie, so there will be multiple bar scenes.
Yeah.
There will be plenty of time for Star Wars to get the bar.
He's going to shoot first plenty.
Yeah, I'd like to see... I don't know, have they done
That's actually something
story on Greedo?
No.
So we're going to see some sort of Greedo origin
He was in
thing?
the episode 1 unused footage as child Greedo. But what I hope they don't do is just throw in a lot of stupid throwback jokes to stuff from the original trilogy, just to be, haha, remember that Han shot first this time.
How would they would be really weird for them to do that.
As long as they didn't make it too overt. You can, even the trailer was just at the end of it he says, I thought we were in trouble there for a minute, but we're fine, everything's fine, which is exactly what he says when he's on the comms. Yeah, it's just what were they purposely trying to make a joke there that referenced? I don't want to see a ton of that.
There will be that though,
but I don't want to see overt stupid stuff. I don't know. It's weird that I don't want to see that, but I want it to stand on its own. I don't want it to crutch on the original trilogy too much. Yeah. So I'm sure it will have references because they love doing that.
Completely honest, I am far more pumped for an Obi-Wan movie.
I like the possibilities of that movie and what they could do with it, which almost scares me because it means I'm probably going to be disappointed. Yes. Yeah. Because I would love just everything. There's 19 years there to work with. I think it's 19 between episode 3 and 4. And shit happens to him, and apparently he has encounters with Vader or close calls with him or something like that. So they could really do really cool stuff, and they could even kind of split it up a little bit in the 3 acts and have them as 3 different timelines throughout that 19 years. And
interested too in this.
Hell, they could do a trilogy if they wanted to.
They've got so many trilogies booked now.
It's such a period of time. Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe Rian Johnson's trilogy is an Obi-Wan trilogy. He specializes in broken men. I mean, maybe that's his thing. I'm looking forward to the lightsaber battles, just because as much as people, and I personally, did not like the prequel trilogy. Ah, yes. 1, 2, and 3. Yep.
I liked the lightsaber fights.
Mm-hmm.
They were well done, very well choreographed because of the time difference. It was a different time compared to when the originals came
Everyone
out.
was trained in lightsabers.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a big difference. Which
Obi-Wan is.
Which he is, exactly. Yeah. And if you've ever seen the Clone Wars or Rebels, because he's in a bit of Rebels as well, Obi-Wan knows how to use a lightsaber. Clearly, he survived stuff he shouldn't have, especially in the Clone Wars.
Even if he forgot a little bit.
Yeah, well, he's been sitting around.
He was pretty old then.
Which is weird, actually. That's something that I would like to see addressed, is why did he age just so drastically? I mean, I know it's just actor choices and whatever, but from the end of episode 3, I don't actually know how old he was in episode 3, but he was old as hell in episode 4. Like, Alec Guinness? Yeah, Alec Guinness was the actor in episode 4, and he was like, he's an old dude.
Yeah. I can't remember I don't know, I have no idea what the time frame is between those movies.
You would have had to been, like, to be as old as Alec Guinness, in episode 3, you would have had to been at least, I don't know, late 40s? And I don't think he was.
No.
So he looks like he aged a lot more, so I'd love to get a reason. You don't need one. I know it's just aesthetics. You know, it's just, hey, we used that actor, and then we used this actor, and
well, he was living on a desert planet.
Exactly. They could easily...
He got aged by the weather.
Especially if he was kind of a broken man dealing with all this... His entire life crumbled, and he went into exile.
He trained Vader.
Yeah. Like
that would kind of break you.
He did. Yeah, I mean, he's a big part of... And so, yeah, maybe it just... I would love to see that movie, too. We're supposed to be talking about Solo, but we're talking... Whatever. Yeah. It's loose.
We're totally going off on a tangent.
But I would love to see that movie being... the story of a broken man a lot of the way, and make it really dramatic and gritty and not what you maybe expect, but have Obi-Wan badassness. That's why I want it more than one movie. You know, let him do a lot of things and really develop that character even more.
Yeah.
Just don't fuck it up, because you can't. If you fuck up...
I'm kind of interested on what Solo coming out. I mean, it's coming out pretty much at the same time as they're releasing Last Jedi. Last Jedi's DVD release is just coming up.
Strange timing. It's like,
and then you've already got another Star Wars.
Yeah, it's like, so there's
pipeline.
no Christmas Star Wars for the first time in 4 years, which is, like, it's become already this tradition for me, is looking forward to every December to be a new Star Wars movie.
Screw Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's go
Star Wars time. I always watch all of them.
Have a very merry
in December.
Star Wars.
It's my Christmas tradition. And this year there won't be a new one, which is really weird. I was convinced they were going to delay Solo, and that the May thing was just for an investor, thing to say. It's like, yeah, we got a good summer plan. We got Solo coming out. And so the investors would be like, oh, cool. Oh, we had to delay it. Oh, so unexpected. It's in December now. That's what I was thinking, but not happening.
It's not coming out May 4th either.
No.
That is a miss.
But something is happening that day.
Is it a premiere? There might be a premiere for it.
No, I think it might actually just be Rebels. Now I don't remember. No, I think it's May 5th that Rebels ends. Either way. Oh, it is coming out on I think it's the 40th anniversary of A New Hope being in theaters.
Oh, okay.
Or something like that. It's tied in somehow. Maybe it's 50 years.
Isn't it called a completely different name in China?
Too? I don't know. I never
Because the Star Wars wasn't testing well in China.
Really?
Yeah. I think it doesn't say a Star Wars story on it. It says it's basically called Solo.
Solo.
I think that might be it, or something else.
Speaking of his name, do you think that he gave himself that name? It's something I've been thinking about recently. In the trailer, they said they asked for his name at the end of the trailer, and he kind of just looks up. And I wonder if he just gets his reputation of working alone. Remember in A New Hope, he says, "I work alone."
Yeah.
But he was with a crew in this movie, or he agrees to work with a crew, assuming the trailer is leading us in that direction. So I wonder if his whole crew gets killed, and then he essentially gives himself a name at the end, saying, "I'm not working with a crew again." Of course, he keeps Chewie the whole time, so that doesn't even make sense. Killing my own theories here, but because the word is a word, right? And they're calling the whole movie Solo, so they could have called it Kessel Run or something.
Well, they'll get their title name in the movie multiple times.
Oh yeah, it'll be in there. They said
doesn't have to be a cheesy line.
Yeah. Rogue One was forced. Rogue One? It's like, oh god, that's not. It could have done that. Just been confident. He was like, "What's your call name?" Rogue One. It could have just the delivery I didn't like of the way they said Rogue One in that movie. So, anyways, what I don't want to see in Solo, I don't want to see R2D2 or 3CPO. C3PO? Wow. half a beer.
You've only had half a beer.
I don't want to see them. They've been in every single Star Wars movie, though, which is tradition to put them in there now. They shouldn't have been in the prequels, as far as I'm concerned, but they were there.
They shouldn't be there?
I don't think they should be there.
Because they were not introduced ever.
Why would they be around Han Solo? Especially 3PO.
He'd never seen them until they met in 4.
You'd think he'd remember, for sure. So I just think it's time to break that tradition. Because Kenobi, you can't put him in there. You can't put him in a Boba Fett movie. You know, it's time. This is the movie. It's time to end that tradition. I want to see a lot of
bounty hunters. That's another thing I want to see.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some. In fact, I'd be okay if Boba's in there.
I'd like to see some other Mandalorians.
Yeah, at some point in ever.
Yes.
Not in a cartoon, although I enjoy the cartoons, even if they aren't always, you know, made for adults, and sometimes there's a lot of filler episodes. But we just today finished watching Clone Wars. The last 3 episodes are Yoda episodes, and they're just really cool, trippy Yoda finding himself, and kind of it's almost showing like why Yoda just
heads to Dagobah.
Well, heads to Dagobah at the end, but also just the like how he almost accepted. It was like he still wanted to try to fight what was going to happen, but he knew it was going to happen. And so it was just like, you know, failed I have, now I must go. And it's just like, okay, it's inevitable. I tried to beat Sidious, there's just no way in episode 3. And he takes off. It kind of explains maybe how that happened. Or it's funny how, I don't remember what book it's in, but Yoda actually wanted to train Leia. He thought that Leia was going to be the one that could rise up and do it. He thought Luke was just terrible and dumb because Leia was like already in a rebellion. She already had these strong morals, these principles, all this stuff. So they figured Yoda
Luke
figured
was the
that.
farm boy.
Yeah, and it's one big reason why he didn't want to train Luke. It's like, oh, Luke just wants to run around and play with his toys.
Bullseye,
and,
Womp
yeah,
Womp
exactly.
Rats.
Like he was just Womp Rats.
Swamp Rats, I had it right.
So it's an interesting thing that they whispered at the end there was another Skywalker at the end of the Clone Wars pieces or whatever. It was just this cool piece of trivia. The other thing I don't want to see in Solo is too much stuff that we just know about his past. We know he met Chewie. That's obviously going to be in there because we see him Chewie.
There'll be a sizable amount, I'd imagine, because of the whole life debt thing.
We might see the whole I think that's a cool origin story for Chewie and Han together as a duo. It could be really good, but I don't want to necessarily see the Kessel Run. That's one thing they always talk about.
It'll be there.
I don't necessarily want to see Jabba at all. I don't necessarily want to see Boba Fett, even though I kind of do. It's just too much stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we know all these things about Han Solo, and they all happened in 1 week period. You know, it's like, is this really believable? Not that they're ever going to make a Solo movie again, but to find those things out, they still want to sell books and comics and all this stuff.
It'd be nice to have some new things.
It would be nice, and some new things would be good too. Yeah, like we don't need to necessarily see everything we already know happened. That's basically what I had written down. But what I would like to see, well, new things for sure. Yeah. I think Kira's going to die, but she's going to be a love interest. And maybe that's where the Solo name, if he does choose his name, and I'm really going off on a limb here, maybe it's I'll never marry or never fall in love again. Maybe he legitimately, was with it. But then he didn't exactly resist Leia, so that's probably not true either. But either way, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't necessarily looking forward to it before the trailer. One thing I'm a little worried about is that it won't look like Han Solo, or it won't sound like Han Solo. His voice, his mannerisms could be perfect.
I think Lando will be all right.
A little different. And that's funny. I think everyone thinks that Lando's going to be awesome because it's Donald Glover, because he's just awesome and because he looked great as well in the movie, but we've never even heard him speak.
He put in the effort to get the mannerism down.
Yeah.
If anyone, like, he was hanging out, they were hanging out together, learning the character for Lando Calrissian.
Oh, he met up with, I'm blanking on his name right now, but
I couldn't remember either.
With the actor.
I was hoping you wouldn't bring Lando. It up.
Yeah. Oh man, it's usually right at my forehead. Well, that's cool. And I know Harrison Ford tried to give Alden a few pointers as well.
I hope he did.
Yeah.
It just seems like Harrison Ford comes across, if you don't really know him, as the grumpy guy.
I think he comes across that way. But I think he also does care about the art of movie making, maybe even more than... I mean...
He did want out of Star Wars.
Yeah. But I think he also wanted something a lot to happen back in like the 80s of like Han is to be a sacrifice and all this stuff. But he still came back and did Star Wars, and he didn't have to. So I think he wants to see it succeed and be good, even if he doesn't want to necessarily keep on doing them forever, which he definitely doesn't. But the fact that he's even, you know, any involvement at all with Solo means that he cares at least a little bit, or they're paying him. Hopefully he cares a little bit.